Hey, Rose! You dropped something.
Oh, thanks. That's the equipment order form.
Order form? You mean the one you have to bring to the store?
Yep. Are you interested?
I guess I do wonder about how it works. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you lived your whole life without money.
I hadn't really seen it before I went to Lady Lake.
Well, money's an important part of human society, especially considering the equipment we use can mean life or death out there. You want to learn?
Yeah. Please, teach me the basics.
So which one of you influenced the other into ruin exploring mania?
Man, I don't even remember.
You were the one who started it, obviously. Always dragging me around like that.
But you were the one who first took interest in the treasure hunting aspect of it all.
That's only because I wanted there to be some sort of overarching goal to what we were doing.
Well, I've learned one thing from all this.
What is it?
That I don't care about this stuff at all.
That's all you got out of this? Giant strength, huh? I hate to admit it, but Earth Seraphims sure are powerful.
Ugh.
Edna?
Ouch! Using giant strength, my body gets all kinds of sore. Can you just try not to touch me?
Oh, sorry.
As you can see, I have a slender build, so by nature, I can't really hold anything heavier than an umbrella. I'm the most ladylike lady that ever ladied, you know.
Well, whatever. But it does make sense that using such great power has a trade-off somewhere.
Just don't tell Saray about it. I don't want him to get all worried about me.
Yeah, probably for the best.
And just so we're clear, it doesn't mean that it's okay to touch me whenever I'm not using my powers. Got it?
Yeah, I know.
It looks like something was dug up here.
This red stone, maybe?
Vermilion ore, you mean?
Come again?
It's a rare type of mineral. It's a crystallization of nutrients in the earth, often used as medicine, but...
I've read about this stuff. Some of its elements are highly toxic, so it can be tricky to handle.
Right! This is what they're using to make the fake elixir.
To think there'd be such a large rock of vermilion ore.
That's not good.
What do you mean?
Vermilion ore is a mineral that can only be generated through immensely powerful fire-based seraphic arts.
So there are tough enemies ahead. I say bring it on.
Let your guard down, and you may wind up with more than a little skin burn.
Certainly. This ore is far beyond my capability to produce, even with my fire affinity.
Then what scale are we talking?
Think of an erupting volcano, and you're closer.
Wouldn't be a shrine of trials without a trial or two, I guess.
Someone's unflappable.
But I think he has the right idea. We can't back off now.
But still, isn't it almost too neat of a coincidence that this turned out to be a shrine of trials?
I believe it. There's vermilion ore all over the place after all.
Good point. Vermilion ore is only formed in the aftermath of the use of powerful fire seraphic arts.
By powerful, you mean like Lila's arts?
I'm afraid not. My flames are yet too weak to create vermilion ore.
Meaning there's an art user out there even stronger than Lila.
I wonder what's happening in Pendrago now.
If we take too much time, Sergei and his brigade may be forced into a situation where they need to take action.
It would also give Fortin more time to devise a trap.
Don't even say that!
Just stating a fact.
Though it is a shame.
Yeah.
If we don't do anything, the situation won't get any better.
That's for sure. Is that so?
There's more of those dogs now.
Maybe Dezel has some new friends?
Well, that's no...
He's talking with those dogs.
From a normal person's perspective, I bet we don't look any less weird.
Don't lump me together with those mutts.
But the dogs do feel the same. In a good way.
Those dogs are so mature.
If they're mature, then so am I. Give me some credit for once.
Hey Edna, Lila, this out! Ta-da!
Is this a picture or some kind of poster?
Looks more like some kind of ad.
A breath of fresh air into the fashion of the Seraphim. The latest trend from Sparrow Feather brand launches right now?
What is this supposed to be?
It's a new business targeting the Seraphim. You guys don't need food, but you need clothes, right? It's an untouched market, the perfect opportunity for a monopoly. This is it!
I don't think the Seraphim are exactly hurting for new clothes.
I like what I'm wearing already, too.
Well, of course you do. You're totally behind the times.
Behind the times?
No one asked what you think.
That attitude is no good. Girls need to dress fashionably or you'll get left behind. It doesn't matter if you're Seraphim or human.
No!
No!
Then what kind of clothes do you have for us?
That's where you guys come in. I don't know what's all the rage among Seraphim these days. Huh? Aren't you too excited?
I think you broke her. You okay, Lila?
Behind the times.
Too late. Great, Rose. Now look what you did.
Huh? Me? The village chief knew the whole thing by heart, didn't he? Impressive.
The shepherd is granted 4 powers: earth, water, fire, and wind. They are the blade that shall cleave the Lord of Calamity.
That's just what the village chief was saying. You memorized it?
More or less.
He's actually pretty decent at that sort of thing.
I'm sorry, Saray. You're more capable than I thought.
What did you take me for?
But what exactly are the spiritual powers of the shepherd?
All of nature is composed of 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and wind. Each one is governed by one of the 4 eldest seraphim.
Right. Eumacia, Amanak, Musif, and Hyanua.
Correct. They maintain the balance of the entire continent of Glenwood.
When you put it that way, they sound almost like gods, though they lack a certain divine presence.
We feel much the same, actually. They're ostensibly the source of our seraphic arts, but we're basically never aware of them.
That's the nature of the 5 lords' existence. The shepherd's spiritual powers are most likely the result of a fortification of elemental affinity through the blessings of the 5 lords.
And all to battle against the Lord of Calamity.
Kind of a shame that such wondrous power has to be squandered on fighting.
That man. He was a former shepherd, wasn't he?
Yes.
I see. He seemed like a pretty laid-back fellow.
Unlike certain other shepherds.
Shut up.
Well, there's one more thing we learned.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Huh?
Wait, you're not gonna ask her for more details? Wouldn't it be crazy useful to get info on your predecessor?
There's a reason why Lila never mentioned it, don't you think?
We know that much at least.
Saray. Mikleo.
But that reason just might be the key to all our problems. You better hope you don't regret it later.
They may be kids, but they're not as immature as you.
Hey, can I mention something? This is something I realized when we met the Pope, but I believe it was Cardinal Fortin who preceded the motion for war. That chief we met? I can't see him making the decision to declare war like that.
So, does that mean you're going to...
You want to purify the Cardinal, don't you?
I do. They have become a Hellion. But I still believe that her sense of responsibility is sincere.
If you purify her, I'm sure she can be saved.
I think so too.
All right then, let's give it a shot. I've got your back on this one.
Rose,
You don't need to say anything. It's just how things shook out.
This is the crest of Mount Tellus, isn't it?
If the celestial record is to be believed, yes.
But it's empty.
Yeah, I don't get any sense of presence or lordly domain. Though we still don't really know what to expect for signs of presence of the 5 lords.
Well, Mount Tellus is a mysterious kind of seraph to begin with. Like for the shepherd's spiritual powers. There's earth, water, fire, and wind, but there isn't one for Mount Tellus.
My first thought was that he served as a symbolic figure in 5 lords' worship. But there may be more to it than that. Lila seems to know something.
But it's probably to bother her.
I feel sorry for her, in a lot of ways.
I do wonder, how does she even come up with those things she says?
Indeed, a mystery greater even than our friend Mount Tellus.
How saddening.
Lila, is there any way to...
Well,
Saray, you're troubling Lila.
I'm sorry.
No, please don't mind.
If only I was stronger.
Don't be so arrogant. Is it your right to say who lives and who dies?
Guess I shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Save your sympathy.
Yeah, Boris accomplished what he needed to do, of his own accord.
We should do our best as well.
Yeah, we'll just keep on doing whatever we can.
Once the domain completely disappeared, I could tell immediately. Mount Tellus isn't here after all.
Lila, Lila, class of Phyla, all the species, all the phyla.
So what? It doesn't matter now.
It does matter. It was a Hellion not even as strong as the Five Lords, and still we couldn't manage to purify it. Meaning we don't stand a chance against old Kittybeard.
Heldolf, huh? We still have a ways to go before we can face him.
Glad you understand. Now you need to get it together.
The real fight is about to begin.
There are still 3 trial shrines left to go.
Right. Can't afford to mope around.
So it wasn't Nautilus, and it wasn't her. But I can feel a presence nearby. She's still somewhere in Roland's.